Good afternoon. Today I come to you all with a message on my behalf and on behalf of Woodland Pond related to the incredible tragedy that this community is facing in the loss of Joseph Hull, Sarah's 7-year-old son. This is a day like no other that we have ever had at Woodland Pond. The loss that we are each feeling is seemingly overwhelming, feels insurmountable. This feels like a nightmare that we just can't wake up from. I wanted to take a few minutes to acknowledge the fact that we are all going to feel and experience this loss in a different way. There are so many different feelings that are raised. Of course, sadness, anger, remembrances of our own losses, a desire to hold our loved ones, my son, my daughter, your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren, hold them tight, put them in a bubble, never let go. Confusion, resentment, questions of why Joseph and his father Joe, feelings of concern for Sarah, feelings of concern for Sonia, Sarah's 9-year-old daughter who survived the fire, anxiety, fear. There's the whole gamut of feelings everyone is feeling right now. I had my leadership team meet this morning, and as well, we included Gretchen and Mary Jo and a few others to sit in a room and just express some feelings. I shared some information that I had received in speaking with Sarah over the last day. And what I said to my staff and what I want all of you to hear from me sincerely is that there is no one right way to feel right now. And as I looked around the room at my leadership team, I saw a variety of emotions. I had tears streaming down my face, and then a few minutes later, I would be a little bit more calm. I looked at some that sat stone-faced and others that had tears streaming down their own faces, and every single reaction is fine. All reactions are okay, including no reaction. This may not affect you in any way, and all of that is okay. We are not going to judge how each person responds to this situation. We are not going to suggest that one way to mourn this is the right way. We are not going to suggest that if you are not crying or acting somber, that you are in some way not honoring Joseph. We all need to find bright moments now, and that is okay. You can have a smile and still be extremely sorrowful inside. I know that's how my day has been today. And even yesterday, I had a few bright moments, but I needed to find those bright moments. The sorrow was about to overwhelm me, and that's okay. That's okay for all of you, and it's okay for my entire staff and all of our people at Woodland Pond. Woodland Pond has the most unique community in the world. This is a family, and as family, we need to honor and respect Joseph's memory, Sarah's ex-husband Joe. We need to honor Sarah. We need to listen to each other. We need to let each other handle this situation as each feels comfortable. We need to acknowledge that how you feel today might be very different than how you feel tomorrow. You may feel like this is something that you can easily work your way through today, but in a couple of days, you might have something that is a trigger that reminds you of something or makes you think of something, and then you may become very emotional. And that is also okay. My intention is to provide to this community updates as to what Sarah is informing me of. but also to provide resources. I have spent the morning on the phone with a number of clergy, looking for guidance on, ways to help sort of in this type of a very severe, tragic incident. And the messages that I have gotten from each are really consistent in saying that we each have to support each other in the mourning process, whatever that looks like. And there should be no one feeling guilty if you don't feel like you must cry. That's okay. Everyone handles news like this in a different way. I also want to take a moment to just acknowledge that for many of you, Joseph's passing brings back memories of your own child or grandchild passing. Unfortunately, many of you have experienced the loss of a child, and this is going to be, and I'm sure already is, an extremely challenging time in you coping with your memories. I would encourage you, again, there's no right way to do this, but what I would encourage you to do is find someone to talk to about it. Talking seems for me to be the best way to acknowledge that I'm having these feelings and that others may as well. Letting people know how I'm feeling, asking others how they're feeling. So for those of you that are struggling with anything like that, think about talking to someone. We're in a very, very tough time. We had a likewise incredibly tragic incident happen in the passing of Jim McDonald on Friday, the likes of which have never happened at this community. It was a traumatic and public event. Joan needs all the support that she can get. Fortunately, her family is here with her. Joseph's passing compounds what was already a great sense of loss in Jim's passing, and compounds a great sense of sadness, loss, and anger that we have all been feeling for months because of COVID. I also just want to take a moment to acknowledge a challenge that we are going to have right now, and to let you know that we're thinking of this and working through our options. Because we had the positive staff member and symptomatic last week, we've had to draw back in and put on pause all of our reopening activities, which means that resident-to-resident visits have to be put on pause. So what does that mean? It means that those that you would normally go to for support, technically now we're asking you to avoid because we have COVID in independent living. Not in a resident that we know of, but definitely in a staff member. We're doing contact tracing right now, and we have found that there are, a number of connections that have happened, particularly related to the alfresco dining experience, which is within close proximity and unmasked. There is a great risk that this illness could potentially be in a resident. And so this tragedy, the two tragedies, could not have come at a worse time in terms of your being able to access the social and emotional support that you need. So a few things I would offer. A visit is, in my mind, something where two people are coming together with intention to sit down and have a conversation for an extended period of time. I think you would be okay to stop by at a neighbor's place and knock on the door and just say a quick hello, keeping, of course, 6 or more feet distance, and of course keeping your masks on. I think you're going to need to do that. I think it's important. We need to see each other. I think I would encourage you to come and sit in the lobby. There is life in the lobby. It's a great place that you can get a sense as to how this community is coping with just all of these mounting issues. So I would encourage that as well. I would ask you to call me. My number is on every piece of paper that you have with phone numbers on it. You can email me. I try to be responsive at all times. Contacting your family members, writing Sarah a note if you feel like it. Again, each person will handle this differently. And there will be news each day. So as we get more information, I will try to provide some updates. Just for today, what I can tell you is that I am actually going to Sarah's home at 3:30 today, and I will be bringing all of your cards and letters that have been written, and for those that have given other things that they'd like Sarah to have, I'll be bringing all of that to her. But the main purpose of my visit is to give her the love and support from Woodland Pond and from myself personally. Sarah is a dear friend as well as a colleague. My children are close to her children's age, and I offered to come by, and Sarah said, yes, please do. So I will see her today, and I should have some more information about service arrangements and those types of things. I will plan to bring to Sarah everyone's love and support and concern, and the knowledge that this entire community is behind her and her family, and that as hard as this will be, there's no better community to get through this together than Woodland Pond. And for that, I am so thankful.